Now to a new report published by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Now, this says the overall number of nuclear warheads has declined in the past year. But does fewer necessarily mean safer? Well, I got to bring out Sara Montes de Oca, who joins me with all the details. Sara, history has shown us, well, one nuke can cause a lot of damage, cause a lot of heartache, and change history. What's the story?
That's right, Scotty, especially nowadays. Just because there are less nuclear weapons doesn't mean we're immune to a nuclear war, especially since nations are modernizing their arsenals now. Director of the SIPRI Nuclear Arms Control Program, Shannon Kyle, said the world is seeing fewer but newer weapons. According to the data published by SIPRI, 9 states hold an approximate total of 13,865 nuclear weapons. Now, these include the U.S., the UK, Russia, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. In 2018, however, those states had 14,465. So even though we've seen a decrease, we're also seeing these nuclear weapons become highly modernized. According to SIPRI's findings, the decrease is due to a U.S.-Russian treaty. Now, this treaty required the two countries to dispose of warheads from the Cold War and to limit the number of warheads each nation can deploy. The treaty termed measures for the further reduction and limitation of strategic offensive arms, or the New START, was enforced on February 5th, 2011, and the U.S. State Department explained under the treaty, the United States and Russia must meet the treaty's central limits on strategic arms by February 5th, 2018, 7 years from the date the treaty entered into force. Both countries reached their reduction limits by the deadline, and each party has the flexibility to determine for itself the structure of its strategic forces within the aggregate limits of the treaty. But New START will expire in 2021, and there have been 0 discussions to extend the deal, at least so far. The U.S. and Russian arsenals still make up a combined 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. Now, this is a decline in the number of nuclear weapons, could be a positive sign, but this doesn't mean humanity is safe from nuclear war. Now, this is especially important given the nuclear armed states' withdrawal from existing arms control agreements. Most recently mentioned before, the U.S. withdrew from some key treaties, including the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran Nuclear Agreement in 2018, and the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or the INF, with Russia.
I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal. We will not allow a regime that chants death to America to gain access to the most deadly weapons on earth.
Russia has refused to take any steps to return real and verifiable compliance over these 60 days. The United States will therefore suspend its obligations under the INF Treaty effective February 2nd.
The action stunned Iran and Russia, and they had a response of their own.
The President of the United States has made cheap and impudent remarks. There were maybe more than 10 lies in what he said. He both mentioned the JCPOA withdrawal and also threatened both the establishment and the Iranian nation that he will do this and that. And I will tell him on behalf of the Iranian people, Mr. Trump, like hell you will.
Yesterday, to our great regret, a constructive proposal by Russia that would allow the United States to see for themselves at an expert level the 9M729 missile, which they suspect violates the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty parameters, was rejected.
Scotty, the reduction in numbers, as you can see, is just not enough. What the world really needs is negotiation and commitment to policies which really guide the use of these nuclear weapons.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.